Hi, my friend. Welcome to the Bounce Back Black Woman podcast. I'm Dell, and I've overcome some of the most devastating heartbreaks I could ever have imagined. Do you find yourself stuck in sadness after a broken heart, asking God, why me? Well, I'm here to help women just like you heal and build the resilience to overcome life's greatest hurts. If you long for joy and confidence again, this podcast is for you. So grab your headphones and those heartbreaks. Let's talk. Hey, my friend. Welcome back to Bounce Back Black Woman. I'm your host, Dell, and today's episode is a softer one. Why? Because sometimes healing and growth don't look like a big, bold transformation. Sometimes healing is whisper quiet and not really apparent to anyone other than you. Sometimes a bounce back is a slow breath, a quiet no, or a bold boundary that no one else applauds, but God does. He sees, He knows, He nudges, and He comforts. So let this be your reminder that small doesn't always mean insignificant. Sometimes small means intentional. Let's start out by grounding ourselves in Matthew 11:28 through 30, which reads, "Then Jesus said, 'Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls.'" This is the invitation, my friend. This is it right here. Rest is not a weakness. It's part of the bounce back. How often do we look down on rest? We feel like we should be doing something. We feel like we should be productive. We feel like we don't deserve to just take a moment and rest. And rest is so referred to in the Bible because without rest, you can't hear from God. We're taught to measure growth by action, but stillness is sacred too. We live in a world that celebrates the flashy bounce back. You know what I'm talking about. The revenge body on Instagram. The new man that everyone's snapping pictures of. The new job. The glow up. The solo trips. Social media would have us believe that we are stuck and everyone around us is bossing up and bouncing back. And you know I'm telling the truth. So don't try to deny it. But sometimes the most radical thing that you can do is rest. Rest emotionally. Rest spiritually. Rest physically. And documenting that rest through journaling is so important. It's important for the present. It's important to let it out, for naming it, for expressing it in actual words, because you know what? That makes it real. That takes it out of your brain and makes it real. Nobody can say that it didn't happen because it's not just living anymore in your mind. It's real. It's on paper. It's not some made up emotional thing that you imagined, which others will have us to believe sometimes, but it shows up then as a real, legitimate time of rest and healing. And sis, rest takes just as much strength as the grind. Sometimes it takes even more strength. And why is that? Because guilt, because judgment, because expectations, because comparisons, because competition, because FOMO, because of all of the things that we attach to rest that doesn't need to be attached to rest. So for me, the moment when I came to decide to stand up for myself, for me, here's how that showed up. There was a moment that came when I decided to stand up for myself and no longer tolerate foolishness, deception, and emotional abuse. I was about to walk away from my third marriage. It's hard for me to even say that all these years later, but it's true. Was I embarrassed? I mean, yeah, I was over 50 years old enough, or so I thought, to have figured it out. So yeah, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed at having gotten myself into the situation in the first place. Did I worry that others would say, "I told you so"? Of course I worried. No one wants to hear that because it makes us feel small. So of course I worried that people would say, "I told you so." And some did. Sometimes it was through an actual conversation, but other times it was through the silent looks, the raised eyebrows, the slow nods with one eyebrow up. And I know you get it. Did I feel stupid for letting it go so long? Of course. But guess what? I did it anyway. I did it scared. I did it embarrassed. And I righted that wrong. And the most important thing that I did at the time, I wrote about it. I journaled about all the feelings that I had, the anger, the fear, the embarrassment, the shame, the guilt, the questions. I scribbled and wrote so fast that I could hardly read it back. It gave my pain a voice because it was all swirling around my head and in my heart and in my tears. It also gave my growth a voice. And maybe the most important thing it did was to give me a marker for later in life when I needed to revisit the work that I'd done during that time and remind myself that I had done it before. I was stronger than I thought, and if necessary, I could do it again. Not every comeback is loud, my friend. At least not audibly loud to the world around you. Sometimes the most powerful bounce back is the quiet one that nobody sees. And that's okay. Maybe it didn't look like a win to the world, but it was a win for my soul. It was a win for my confidence. It was a win for my bounce back. And that's what mattered the most. Sometimes less is more, because less noise can equal more clarity. When we stop trying to perform our healing for the world to see, we get closer to what's real. A bounce back doesn't always mean bouncing forward fast. Sometimes it means bouncing inward, growing, rooting. Did you know that tree roots typically spread much wider and shallower than the tree itself? I didn't either, because it's a common misconception that the roots of a tree go as deep as the tree grows tall. But actually, in reality, the majority of the roots only go as deep as 1 to 2 feet of soil. But they extend outward, oftentimes 2 to 3 times the width of the crown of the tree. And those roots, they're what actually holds the tree when that next storm comes. So don't worry if it takes you a while to grow your roots as wide as the tree of your life. Just focus on learning, growing, reflecting through journaling, and rooting. And that, my friend, is what bouncing back is all about. I want to leave you with this scripture. It comes from Proverbs 31:25, and it says, "She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future." Let that scripture be your quiet confidence. You don't owe the world a performance. Your growth is still growth, even if no one claps for it. Clapping for yourself is the best applause in the whole wide world. And I'm here to second that. Keep saying yes to rest. Say yes to boundaries. Say yes to you. You are bouncing back, even if it's slow, soft, or sacred. Because less doesn't mean lacking. Sometimes less is more than enough. So if you want to keep walking this journey with me, I want to invite you to head over to bouncebackblackwoman.com, where you can grab the Bounce Back Journal. It's the perfect place to take these episodes and turn them into your roots of your tree. You can join our community at the website on a private app called Geneva, tucked away from the noise of social media, and here with all of us that are doing this work together. And you can sign up for my weekly email. It's a soft, soulful message that comes to you every week and made for women just like us. Because remember, it's not you, it's not me, it's us. Well, that's it for today, my friend. I really hope this episode inspired, encouraged, or just plain comforted you. If so, please share it with a friend who might be struggling in her own healing journey. And if you take a moment to leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts, you'll help other women find encouragement through their heartbreak. Remember that God is holding your hand along this journey, and guess what? I'm holding the other. Life is short, so bounce back, Black woman.